cause you know we gon' talk about it. Let's talk about it. Get in here, we in here tonight. So get in here, we in here to vibe.
Hey y'all, how's it going? How's everybody doing? I know it's late, you guys. How's everybody doing? Let me know in the chat if you can hear my voice. Hopefully this is not going to be a long live, but I mean, who knows? We're going to go with the flow, okay? But let me know if y'all can hear my voice and we're going to get right into it, y'all. Sorry about being late because, I'm a whole grandmother out here in these streets. Okay, let me know if y'all can hear me before I continue on. All right, I see some thumbs up from Rashida, so I'm assuming that means you guys can hear me loud and clear. Okay, all right, I see it. Nook the Book said, we hear you loud and clear. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And hey, Nook the Book. Listen, this case is very interesting, you guys. So I'm glad that y'all are here because, you know, I like these type of cases or whatnot or whatever, right? She said the girls enjoyed their McDonald's. Yes, they did. Papa J took them to McDonald's, okay? He took them directly to McDonald's and they ate and they played. But baby, them kids, boy, they love to eat. So he took them to McDonald's and they came back and I took them to the pool. They done swam 3 times today, okay? 3 separate times, all right? 3. We ain't done, honey. We got birthday parties to celebrate. We got 2 fairies to come. And then we got s'mores to do. Okay, we ain't done. We ain't done. They ain't gonna let us be done at all. Okay. But anyway, y'all, I want to bring y'all this story. It is going viral right now. Let me know if you guys have heard about the story. William McNeil Jr. Oop, I should have put Jr. She said, pin your coffee link. I think I did. Check, look above. It should be pinned above. I didn't set a goal, but you guys, you know, feel free to tip however you like tonight. However you like. So how many of you guys, by the show of hand, have you heard about the viral video? Let me just put it on a little bit so you guys can see what we're talking about. This viral video about this young fella right here being having an encounter with the police officer out of Jacksonville, Florida. She said, I seen it on Facebook. I'm more shaking my head. It's sad. Okay, anybody else? I saw it early today. These stories make me mad, shaking my head. Okay, so I do see quite a few people have heard about the story. Okay, so before we get into showing any videos, I want to give y'all a backstory of what's going on down in Duval. I don't know if y'all know, but I used to be stationed in NAS Jacksonville. That's when I was in the I was about to say the Air Force. I was about to lie my ass off. When I was in the Navy, I was stationed at NAS Jacksonville. Okay, but I didn't have no problems there. However, I did hear a lot of people say things about Jacksonville. Okay, but I never really had any problems there. Okay, I think it's a certain part of Jacksonville, maybe because I was like closer to the base, and then I stayed. Well, I worked on the base, and I stayed close to the base at one time, and then I moved to some apartments in Orange Park. So if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Okay. Hey, J Benz. Hey, Miss Foster Family Values. I see y'all in here. All right. So we're going to get into this story. We're going to tell y'all what happened, and then we're going to show both videos. And then we are going to, from what we know about the law, we're not lawyers over here. So everything we say over here is based on our own opinion. We're going to give our own analysis of what we see, okay? Or what we see. We're going to give our own analysis, right? So let's give the backstory of what happened, okay? So on February the 19th of 2025, that's just a few months ago, you guys, in Jacksonville, Florida, deputies pulled over 22-year-old William McNeil Jr., okay? And let me put up his photo. It's just gonna have to be my thumbnail right now because I don't have no well, actually I do. Is any clear photos of him? Well, not really clear, but let me just put up my photo. You know, if you've seen it, you already kind of know what he looks like, but that is my my thumbnail, okay? So back in February, the police officers of Jacksonville, the deputies, they pulled over 22-year-old William McNeil Jr., allegedly for having no headlights on. And they also said for not wearing a seatbelt, okay? It says no headlights. They were no headlights, and it was cloudy conditions with a little drizzle, okay? And McNeil remained in his SUV, calmly questioning the reason of why he was being stopped. The video that we saw, that I'm about to let you see, He was saying, why did you stop me? Why did you stop me? What did I do? Why did you stop me? And then we saw an officer, we heard an officer give an order to go ahead and bust the window. And another officer on the other side, that's exactly what he did. He shattered the window and then he sucker punched him, right? Kind of punched him in the face. Pop, pop. I think he did it one time. Punched him in the face and then forcefully pulled him out and then punched him again. As you can see on my thumbnail, a lot of people probably can't see it. He had his hands up while sitting in the car. He punched him in the face, which I'm going to show y'all in a few seconds. But when he got out the car, and you can see his hands are behind his back, another officer hauls off and punch him in the jaw. You know, they be wanting you to shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? But just because they want you to shut the hell up don't mean that they can use excessive force to make you shut up. You know what I'm saying? Now, to restrain you and do things like that, they may be able to use excessive force. But when you are in compliance or they have you restrained, and when someone have your hands behind your back, you are restrained. They are not allowed to just holler off and take sucker punches at you. Okay, we're going to get into that in a minute, right? That's just, beating your chest type shit. But anyway, so he forcefully pulled him out of the vehicle and punched him multiple times. And once while he was still seated in the car, and then afterwards while he was in handcuffs, okay? Some of the injuries that McNeil suffered was a chipped tooth, split lips, 9 stitches, a concussion, and reported short-term memories. Okay, that's what he said on his own Instagram account. Let me read it. It says, February 19th, I was pulled over at 4 p.m. for my headlights being off, no rain, no smoke, or fog. In fact, I could see a part of the blue sky. I simply asked for a supervisor and things escalated quickly, as you can see. A chipped tooth and 9 stitches in my lips. My tooth went through my lip. Ooh, ooh, woo. Were the results from them slamming me on the ground for no reason when I was trying to put my hands behind my back. And I also suffered a concussion and short-term memory loss. This was very hard to do. I'm not mentally healed from this, but I had to get the word out eventually. And if I pushed you away or changed more than likely, this is why I just don't F with you anymore, okay? So he said, basically, if y'all notice a change in me since February, this is the reason why I was attacked by Jacksonville Police Department. Now, he didn't say those words, but that's what he meant, okay? By showing the video, all right? So again, chipped tooth, split lip, 9 stitches, concussion, and short-term memory loss, okay? Charges and conviction. Guilty of resisting arrest without violence and driving on a suspended license, marijuana seatbelt, and headlights charges were all dropped, okay? So they dropped, they when they pulled him out of the car, you're going to hear him say, oh, I found a bag of marijuana in his pocket, okay? And I do think that I heard him say in the video, yeah, it is a bag. He admitted that, yeah, it is marijuana in my pocket. So they threw the marijuana out, threw the seatbelt out, because you're going to see in the video, he clearly did have his seatbelt on. And they even threw the headlight charge out, okay? But what he was found guilty of was resisting arrest without violence and driving on a suspended license, okay? Now, Jacksonville Sheriff Department launched an internal investigation. Body cam footage was released, which we will see, and civil rights attorney Ben Crump and Harry Daniels are now representing McNeil Jr., okay? They have hired him and they are representing his case, all right? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to show both videos, all right? We're going to show the video that he posted that went viral. It took off. Like, he posted on his Instagram and boom, boom, boom. Now it has over 350,000 likes on his Instagram, probably the most he ever received in his life. But he took it and then boom, a whole bunch of people just start sharing it and sharing it and sharing it and sharing it and getting the information out like WTF, what is going on, okay? But then Jacksonville Police Department got wind of it and said, whoa, wait a minute. They're trying to paint us in a bad light. So we're going to put out our video of the body body footage. And then we're going to do a press conference and let people be the judge. And that's exactly what has happened. He put his video out yesterday. The Jacksonville Police Department put their video out today. We are going to see both of them. Okay? All right. Let me read a couple of questions. She said, resisting arrest. What? The black cop stood there and let this co-worker beat on this man. Uncle Tom asked, he is less than a man to black people. I can't stand these black cops that don't stop these white demon cops. Okay. Well, let's just look before we form any opinion, because yesterday when I first saw the video, I was 38,000 high. Like, what the F? But then when I seen their released footage, I have a slight change of mine, just slightly, but we'll get into that, okay? All right, so let's take a listen to McNeil's video on his Instagram, okay? Here we go.
When he pulled me over, he walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are all under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law
Yeah,
up?
when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call the supervisor? Can you call the supervisor?
All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hand.
Here.
I'm here.
So now, as you can see, he does have his seatbelt on, and they're going to actually remove the seatbelt off of him. Now, let me just say this. I believe that when the guy said no, second, because you're going to see it in a minute, he's going to say, when he says, why did you stop me? He's going to say, because you had no headlights on. And second of all, you're not wearing a seatbelt. I'm thinking the reason why he said you're not wearing a seatbelt is because when he opened the door, you'll see it in a minute. Let's just continue rolling it. But as you can see right here, he does have his seatbelt on.
What is your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason?
The cops take the seatbelt off.
Stop now. All right.
Now, as you see him snatch him out the car violently, and it appears to be 3 cops right there, you can see one of the cops grab him by his neck immediately. Now, I'm not a police officer, okay? They may say, well, we was trying to restrain him, all right? They could very well say, we was trying to restrain him. But then take a look, okay? You see how he punched him one time as the guy tried to grab his wrist to put it behind his back. Then they sling him to the ground.
Put your hands behind your back. What's wrong with you?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say 3 officers are on him right now. And as you can see, the black officer right here is kind of standing over watching. But I do believe when we see another angle, we will see that the black officer also restrained him as well in some type of capacity. Oh, I'm sorry. So there's 2 black officers. My bad. I did not notice that. Let me go back. The only way I can go back, I don't know how to go back on, I don't know how to go back on Instagram like this. That's why I kind of hate doing Instagram. Oh my God. Anyway, let's just.
Pulled me over. He walked up.
Sorry, y'all, because I don't know how to.
And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said,
I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know how to rewind Instagram videos like that. So we got to watch it again.
well, for one, your headlights
I won't do this no more.
are all under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Can you pull that law up?
Huh?
Can you pull that law
Yeah,
up?
when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call the supervisor? Can you call the supervisor?
All right, go for it.
So now, if you heard, he said, all right, go for it, right? When he said, all right, go for it, he was giving him the okay to break that window. Again, I don't know if the one that said, all right, go for it is a supervisor or not, okay? But you heard him say, all right, go for it. And that's when the guy proceeded to bust his window, and then he's going to sucker punch him in the face.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Now, in my opinion, I am not an officer. That punch in the face was unnecessary. However, let's continue.
Your hand.
Here. I'm here. What is your reason, sir?
Step out.
What is your reason?
Step out now. All right. No. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
So it looks like 2 white cops and 2 black cops.
What's wrong with you?
Ain't no talking now, man. Ain't no talking.
What the fuck is shit, bro? I was doing it, bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest. That's what's going on.
No. Yes, bro. Yes. A lawful reason,
Big
bro.
knock center here too.
And I don't know if y'all heard him. He just said he has a big knife in there, okay? He was talking about a knife being found in the car, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro.
That's not how it works.
Too late. It ain't no too late. When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that shit. So your pocket didn't even act.
Marijuana in his right pocket.
Yeah.
And you hear him saying marijuana is in his right pocket.
So why close the door if you see him pull up? Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. I didn't do nothing. Go resist, you idiot. I didn't do nothing wrong, bro. Can you back me up to the car so I can bring up? Shut up.
When he pulled me over,
Okay, now that is the video that went viral that now has over 357,000 views or likes or whatever they call it, shares or whatever they call it on Instagram. Okay, so that is the video that Mr. William McNeil Jr. shared on his Instagram. All right, so that sparked outrage all throughout really the country because there's a lot of people that watched this and were pissed off. Okay, so the Jacksonville Police Department, their sheriff officer, had to write a statement, and the statement that he released yesterday is, he said basically, allow us a few or whatever, I'm just paraphrasing it, allow us a few to do some investigations or whatnot, and then let us come back and tell y'all what's really going on. Okay, so basically he said, we understand, we see, we notice the viral video, allow us to find out and share our part of that video. Okay, so I was just going to show this part, but let's just hear the whole thing. It's 30 minutes. Let's go over it. Now, the sheriff speaks today. This is of Jacksonville, Florida.
And security. So good evening. Of course, I'm Sheriff TK Waters. This is Director Ed Cayenne from our Director of Homeland Security and Investigations. Our integrity unit also falls underneath him. That's why he's joining me up here this evening. Today, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is releasing information regarding the circumstances of William Anthony McNeil Jr.'s arrest on February 19th of 2025. Yesterday, while I was in church, JSO became aware that cell phone camera footage purportedly of this arrest was circulating on social media. At my direction, the agency immediately began both a criminal and administrative review of the officer's actions. These administrative reviews...
Now, what I don't understand is this happened in February, but you hear the sheriff, TK Waters, said that they immediately, after the video started circulating on social media, immediately they started an investigation. So my issue with TK Waters, the sheriff, why not February? Okay, why did they take till now to do an investigation? But let's listen to what he has to say.
Are ongoing, but the state attorney's office has determined that none of the involved officers violated criminal law. Even though the administrative review has yet to be completed.
Now, you heard him say their attorney's office has looked at the body cam footage, looked at the circulated video, and have said none of the officers violated anything violated their, whatever he just said. Let's go back. Violated policy or protocol. Let's go back a little bit.
Today, while I was in church, JSO became aware that cell phone camera footage purportedly of this arrest was circulating on social media. At my direction, the agency immediately began both a criminal and administrative review of the officer's actions. These administrative reviews are ongoing, but the state attorney's office has determined that none of the involved officers violated criminal law.
Okay, the state attorney's office has noted that none of the officers violated a criminal law. All right, let's continue.
Even though the administrative review has yet to be completed, we are releasing the body-worn camera footage today because Officer Bowers has consented to its release and waived his officer's bill of rights pertaining to the discrete piece of evidence.
So now Officer Bowers must be the one that sucker punched him in the face. And basically Sheriff TK Waters basically said that Officer Bowers, I'm assuming that's Bowers, unless Bowers is that black guy standing over there. But whoever Officer Bowers is, has basically gave the okay to release the body footage, okay?
The administrative review is pending. The officer's bill of rights prevents me from releasing any additional information beyond these videos, as it is confidential under Florida Statute 112.532. As JSO's leader, I have vowed to be open and transparent with the public that we serve. Whether the information shared reflects well in this agency or not, I have always done my very best to tell the public exactly what's going on within the agency. When there are allegations of officer misconduct, our agency thoroughly investigates those allegations. When allegations of officer misconduct are sustained, we hold officers accountable, as I've done many times in the past. In this case, the cell phone camera footage that began viral circulation over the weekend does not comprehensively capture the circumstances surrounding this incident, and that is to be expected.
Now, what he's saying, for those that don't know, he's saying there's more to the story. And, I will say this, sometimes there is more to the story. Sometimes we don't know the full picture. And like I said yesterday, I formed an opinion. I was angry. I was like, just mad, like what the, and then the day when I saw the body cam footage, even though I'm still gonna give y'all my opinion at the end, but I will say the body cam footage did sway a change in my stance on it yesterday. Okay, let's continue.
That stems from the distance and perspective of the recording cell phone camera. Another part of it stems from the fact that the cell phone camera did not capture the events that preceded Officer Bowers' decision to arrest McNeil. Moreover, cameras can only capture what can be seen and heard. So much context and depth are absent from recorded footage because the camera simply cannot capture what is known to the people depicted in it. As a 33-year law enforcement officer, I understand the importance of thorough and complete investigations. One piece of evidence considered in a vacuum without any context can lead to skewed conclusions. When incomplete cell phone camera footage becomes the basis on which public opinion turns, the results can be equally faulty. A rush to judgment, whether it be in a criminal investigation or in a court of public opinion, can lead to flawed conclusions. Tonight, I'm sharing the footage from the body-worn cameras of the arresting officer, Officer D. Bowers, and two of the assisting officers, Officer D. Miller and Officer G. Curse, so that the public has more complete understanding of this incident. Before I deliver the currently available information and play the relevant body-worn camera, I want to be clear about something. Yes, there absolutely was force used by the arresting officers, and yes, that force is ugly. As I've said many times before, the reality is that all force, all violence is ugly. And just because force is ugly does not mean it's unlawful or contrary to policy. But moreover, I want to provide the public with some background information pertinent to this incident. Since January 1st, 2025, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has been involved in...
Hold on, y'all. Okay.
38,805 traffic stops. Even as I speak, that number is climbing. The overwhelming majority of these tens of thousands of traffic stops were made without incident. After this traffic stop on February 19, 2025, McNeil was arrested for resisting a police officer without violence, driving on a suspended driver's license, and possession of less than 20 grams of marijuana. On February 20, 2025, McNeil pled guilty to and was adjudicated guilty of resisting a police officer without violence and driving on a suspended driver's license. Those pleas of guilty were accepted by a local judge who found them to have been factual basis and to have been voluntarily made by McNeil.
So what he's saying is, the February 19th, he was charged with those, driving on suspended license and resisting arrest. The very next day, he was charged with marijuana, resisting arrest, and driving on suspended license. But the very next day, the 20th, so 19th, he was charged. The 20th, he pled guilty. Okay, he pled guilty is what this officer is trying to say. And he's trying to say he did it on his own free will, his own merit. He just pled guilty on his own.
After the resolution of this criminal case, McNeil took custody of his cell phone, the one he presumably used to record the footage that was shared on social media, on March 5th, 2025. At no time, February to now.
So now I don't understand that, but if you're an officer, let me know, because what they're saying is they kept his phone from the date of the incident, which was February the 19th, and he didn't get his phone back until March the 5th. Is that protocol? I'm not sure. Y'all let me know in the comments. Is that protocol if you are an officer? If not, I'm going to look it up, okay? But they did hold on to his phone for a little while from February the 19th to March the 5th, okay?
Did McNeil contact JSO to file a complaint, nor share with the agency the cell phone footage that is circulated on social media?
So what they're saying is, since he got his phone back, the young fella never filed a complaint against the department, nor did he complain about what was on his cell phone. That's what they're trying to say. Mr. McNeil never said anything to them about what happened the day of the incident.
The one he presumably used to record the footage that was shared on social media, on March 5th, 2025. At no time, February to now, did McNeil contact JSO to file a complaint, nor share with the agency the cell phone footage that is circulated on social media. As I said earlier, immediately upon becoming aware of this footage, JSO began a criminal and administrative investigations into the incident. Had McNeil filed a complaint, JSO would have started this investigation at that time.
So as you can hear, Sheriff Waters is basically saying, had he known that the young fella was going to circulate the footage, basically is what he's saying. But he was saying, had he known that footage exists, they would have done an investigation much earlier, right? But he's saying that he was just notified basically that day when it circulated throughout social media.
But we were not aware of this allegation or of improper use of force before this weekend. As this is agency's pattern of practice in any circumstance of use of force, the relevant body-worn camera footage was reviewed by multiple levels of supervision. However, as you'll see in short order, the body-worn camera footage does not capture Officer Bauer's response to resistance when McNeil was seated in the driver's seat. As I explained, although the state attorney's office has deemed it not criminal, the response to resistance is now subject of a pending administrative review to determine if Bauer's conduct violated JSO policy.
So now what he's saying is, even though state attorney has said it's not criminal, no officer did anything criminally, he's basically saying it's still under investigation to find out if it's against their policy. Okay. So there's a difference in criminally when it comes to the state, right? State of Florida, criminally in the state of Florida versus their own internal policy. So he's saying we're still investigating it to find out, did he violate our policy? Not the state's policy, but our policy. Like, let me give you an example. YouTube have a policy. Okay, did you violate YouTube policy? Boom, now did you violate Texas policy? It's a bigger, broader type situation. You understand what I'm saying? So now he's saying that the officer is under review and investigation to see if he violated the sheriff's officer policy, okay?
The law requires that a person comply with the police officer's commands during a traffic stop. This is extremely important. There are not options. If you disagree, take care of it someplace else, but not on the side of the road. No one enjoys being the subject of a traffic stop, and there are times in which citizens dispute circumstances of their stops, but the law is clear. A person must comply with an officer's commands, even if that person disagrees with that officer's reason for the stop. Within 21 seconds of his civil stop or civil traffic infractions, driving without illuminated headlights during rain or failure to wear a seatbelt, McNeil refused to provide stopping officers with his driver's license and registration. 14 seconds later, he locked his car door and refused to exit the vehicle, despite being told many times that he was under arrest. Moreover, McNeil was warned 7 times that he needed to open the door and exit because he was under arrest for resisting an officer without violence, or police would be forced to break his car window. Soon after McNeil was outside his car, officers found a large, unsheathed serrated knife on the driver's side floorboard. Now I'll play relevant portions of the body-worn camera of the 3 officers: Officer Bowers, the stopping and arresting officer; Officer Miller, the second responding officer who spoke to McNeil from the passenger side of the vehicle; and Officer Kirsch, one of the assisting officers.
Okay, so now we're about to see the body cam footage. Okay, hold on. Sorry, hold on. All right, sorry, I had to turn my AC off. I mean, not my AC, but my fan. So now we are about to see the body cam footage from their advantage or their point of view, okay? So brace yourself if you need to go grab something to drink, because, you know, it is going to show a little difference in what we have just seen, okay? All right, how many have seen this so far? Raise your hand already in the chat if you have already seen the body cam footage portion of the videos. Anybody? She said, how was he under arrest for a traffic violation? You'll see in a minute. Why does he sound like he's still under duress? Why does he sound like he's under duress? I've only seen the guy put it away. All right, so we're going to show the body cam footage. Have an open mind, because I had to have an open mind as well. I really clearly had to have an open mind, but just take a listen, okay? Now, there's no sound on this one right here, but the sound's going to come when he stops, okay? Now, before we even get to that part, well, I'm going to talk until it gets to that part. Let me just say this. I never understood why police officers do some of the things they do. And one of them is traffic stops. Now, I know that traffic needs to be regulated. I get that. I'm not putting that past nothing, right? Right? But like here in the state of Texas, now you can't even stop for certain things because so many traffic stops has escalated to imprisonment, unalive, people being unalived. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand. You got all these cops out here, right? And there's real crimes to solve, okay? Especially in big cities. And I'm assuming Jacksonville is a big city. It felt big when I was there, right? I know it's not as big as Houston, but it's still big nevertheless. I just don't understand, like, of all the things you could be doing in the world, you're monitoring whether or not someone has on headlights. It is clearly daylight outside. It is 4:17 p.m. However, I will say this. I did look it up, and it does say that it is a law that if it's raining outside, whether it's raining, foggy, misty, smoky, drizzling, any type of rain or bad weather, you have to have on your headlights, okay? Actually, there's also a rule that if your windshield wipers are on, your headlights need to be on. Now, let me just say this. People like myself, and I'm pretty sure a few of y'all down in the audience, we don't have to worry about that because we drive cars that automatically turn them on. If there's one drop on the window, the headlights are coming on. You understand what I'm saying? Some vehicles are made like that. Some vehicles are also made that where you don't even have to turn your windshield wipers on. When one drop of water hits the window, the windshield wiper comes on, okay? So with that being said, we probably wouldn't even keep up with those type of rules, right? Because, we know a lot of us have taken our test so many years ago that we don't even keep up with oh my God, we can't have, we need our headlights on when it's raining or when it's foggy outside. Like you wouldn't even know that. So I looked it up and yes, it is a rule. Okay. So now let's listen. His body camera is not on. He's getting ready to turn it on right now. And as you can see, the vehicle above belongs to William McNeil Jr.
Yeah, Florida 24 Bravo, Echo Charlie Whiskey on a silver Kia. I don't know like this.
So let me just say right off the bat, he's going down like a side road. Like, my thing is, what in the world? Like, do you just, I don't know if traffic cops get paid. You know, we always heard they get paid like this quota or whatever to pull people over, to arrest people, or to, you know, get them a ticket. I don't know if that's true or not. But like, of all the things that you can be doing in arresting people in Florida, right? In Jacksonville, Florida, you pull over somebody for not having on headlights. Okay, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
Don't have a windows that work.
So now, as you can see right away, William opened his door, and I think it terrifies the cops some, okay? Because he asked, is there a reason that you opened your door? Now, let me tell y'all something. I know some cops down in my audience will probably disagree with me, but this is my own personal opinion, and y'all know I'm going to give it to y'all raw over here. I believe 95% of police officers are cowards. I believe they are scared, okay? And I believe he was a little shook because William opened his door, okay? He opened the door and he's like, oh shit, you know, what's really going on? So you can see that he was a little hesitant to move forward, okay? Let's go back a little bit. When William opened his door, the cop kind of stopped a little bit, all right? Now, I'm not saying that they don't have reasons to be scared, you know, because some people are crazy as hell and some people probably would have, you know, opened up fire right then and there, right? But let's just take a listen. You're going to see the hesitation in him moving forward. He's walking, he's walking, he's walking, he's walking, he's walking.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping?
You see how he stopped walking when Williams opened the door, okay? William opened the door.
Door open like that?
Don't have a windows that work. I don't. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the passenger, not the passenger, the driver, McNeil, said, I opened the door because my window do not roll down. So keep that in mind. My window is broke and it doesn't roll down.
There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. You don't need the light. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
Okay. Now, let's go back. Because he said, is there a reason you're pulling me over? The officer actually did answer him. Now, whether the officer is correct or incorrect, he gave him an answer. He says, one, because you do not have on headlights in this inclement weather. Two, you are not wearing a seatbelt. And then he said three, but then McNeil interrupted him. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back.
Charlie Whiskey on a silver Kia. I don't know like this.
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
Don't have a windows that work. I don't. Is there a reason that you're pulling me over?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling you over. For one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt.
It's daylight. You don't need the light. And it's not weather. It's not raining.
It's
It's not raining.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
Okay. The officer says, I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. He already said, because you don't have your headlights on in inclement weather, okay? The guy said it's not raining, okay? Now, I have to point out, and I'm sure you see, there is rain on his car. Now, whether it's right now raining, or if it was raining, it's foggy outside, the road's probably a little slippery. He does supposed to have his headlights on. You can visibly see water on the car, okay? You can see the drops of water, all water, right? So let's continue.
Why? Excuse me?
Oh, I forgot to point out when he says, I need your driver's license, your registration, and your proof of insurance. McNeil says no. Okay, he says no. All right, and I think he immediately asked for the supervisor, but let's go back and listen. Listen.
Seatbelt. It's daylight. I don't need the lights. And it's not raining. It's not raining. It's not raining. Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance.
He said no 2 times. No. Call your supervisor. Okay, let's continue.
Excuse me? Call your supervisor. Why did you pull me over?
Now you're gonna listen to McNeil several times ask again, why did you pull me over? Now the officer already told him. Now whether he liked what the officer said or not, the officer has already given him a reason that he pulled him over. Okay, let's continue.
Why did you pull me over? Step out of the vehicle. No, step out of the vehicle.
So he says, step out of the vehicle, and McNeil says no. And then he goes and closes the door. All right, let's continue.
Why did you pull me over? I've already told you. Why did you pull me over? Step out of the vehicle. No, step out of the
Now, just right here alone, I would just advise anybody to not do this, because let's just say if the officer was trigger happy, okay, then McNeil could have literally lost his life. Let me tell you why. That officer really can't see inside that vehicle right now, so he doesn't know what McNeil is doing. Okay. All right. She says, I don't see no water more. Look a little careful. It's rain all over the car. All over the car is water. Okay. It may look like scratches to y'all, but if you see the video up close, it's water. So, but anyway, back to what I was saying. A trigger happy cop, and y'all know we had them, would have lit him up, because he don't know what he's doing inside that car. He don't know if he has a weapon. He don't know if he's about to be unalived himself. A trigger happy cop would have lit that car up, right? So let's continue.
Driver just slammed the door and locked it.
Now McNeil is in the car and he's yelling, call your supervisor. What is the reason why you pulled me over? So yet again, he's asking, why did you pull me over, and telling him to call the supervisor, okay? All right, let's continue. Now you can hear the officer on the radio requesting backup at this point. And let me just say this, I am not a cop, but when someone kind of, what's the word I want to use? When they are apprehensive about giving you their driver's license, proof of registration, and insurance, I think a cop automatically assume, I know I would, if I was a police officer, that you are hiding something. There's more to the story, okay? Right? I would assume that the cop is thinking, there's more to this story, because all I asked him was for his driver's license, registrations, and proof of insurance. And the guy says no and slammed the door. So at this point, he's requesting backup because he's thinking, now you're giving me reason to be suspicious, okay?
Anybody responded, coming from Commonwealth, block the vehicle, please.
So as you saw, he says, anybody coming in on Commonwealth, block this vehicle, please. So he thinks McNeil is going to drive off, okay? So he's asking anybody that's nearby or coming toward that direction to block the vehicle, okay? And you're going to hear an officer respond and says, well, I'm like 5 seconds away. Here I come. They only, I shouldn't say this, but a lot of them sit around and do nothing all day, eat donuts, eat chips, whatever the case. So it's one in the area, okay? You see, I'm going west on Commonwealth. I'll be there in a second. You see how fast they just be out there all over the place doing nothing, okay? Doing nothing, looking for trouble. Okay, now I'm just talking about some officers. All of them don't do it, but some of them do it. Let's just be honest here. He says, I'm coming west on Commonwealth. I'll be there in a second. Okay, and the second it was.
Keep your hands where I can see them, sir. My camera's on too.
So he says, keep your hands where I can see them. The young fella, McNeil, tells the officer, I am recording you. Okay, my camera's on. And the officer responds, my camera is on too.
I've already told you.
And so McNeil is inside the car still yelling, why did you pull me over? Why did you pull me over? And let's just be honest. The officer did tell him already, okay? All right? He already told him.
Okay. Right now you're under arrest for resisting. You understand?
So he just told McNeil, he just informed McNeil, you are under arrest for resisting. Okay? You are under arrest for resisting. Now, is that legal? I don't 100% know, but I would think non-compliance is illegal. Believe it or not, I do believe that you have to comply, even if it's just showing your registration and your insurance and your proof of ID, okay? All right, I do believe that you have to show that. I've heard other people say, oh, you don't have to show them your information if they illegally stopped you, but they told him why they stopped him. And one was, you do not have on your headlights. You supposed to, in the state of Florida, have on your headlights in inclement weather. Now, we don't see it pouring down outside. It doesn't look like it's, the sky is bust open, but you can clearly tell that it was drizzling because he has water drops on his vehicle, which means just because, it ain't pouring down don't mean that the roads are not wet, and that other areas in which he may not be in right now is the rain is, more prevalent. Okay, let's continue.
You're under arrest for resisting. The longer you take us on, the worse it's going to be.
So again, let me just say this. Even though the stop was petty, and I 100% agree that it was petty, it was a legal stop. It's petty, it's a reach, it's dumb compared to all the crimes out there, but it was a legal stop. It is 4:19 and it's drizzling, okay? It is drizzling outside.
Hands where I can see him, sir. Okay.
So boom, here comes another officer. That's the one that said, I just finished this jelly donut. I am only seconds away. He pulls up, ready, okay? He pulls up and blocks him in. Now, when I saw this video before, I actually thought that he rammed him, but then I had to go back and look at the video. He didn't ram him. William McNeil it looked like he had already been in an accident, and it looked like the car had already taken an impact. So the officer did not ram him. He just parked very close to him, but on a different angle, when you look at it, it's going to look like he rammed him, but he did not ram him. As you can see right here on his door, that the car has already been in some kind of accident, and you're going to see the hood where the car has been in some type of accident. So the cop did not ram him, even though my initial, when I first looked at it, I thought he did. Okay, let's continue.
Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle exit before we're going to break the window. Open.
Now, you hear the officer tell him, he warns him, and he's going to say it more than once. Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window. He said it right then, and he's going to, even though he said this is your last warning, he's going to give him several more warnings.
Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back because I want you to count the many times that he said it.
Sir, this is your last warning to open the vehicle exit before we're going to break the window.
That's one.
Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window.
2.
Open the door and exit, or we are going to break the window.
3.
He's under arrest. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
4,
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
5,
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
6,
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
7,
Niggas walked in. He's walking up. He's putting the window down. If I try to talk to him, 25 number 4.
Now, right before we go to the next part, I just want to say, I always teach my kids get home safe. I mean, my kids are adults now, but you know, still, they my kids. I teach them get home safe. Get home safe meaning sometimes if you feel like you're right and you very well may be right, your main goal is to get home safe. That's not me teaching them to allow people to treat you any kind of way. That's not what we do. But sometimes to minimize conflict, all right, sometimes you just comply, you get home safe, and if you feel later that you were done unjustly, then you file complaints and stuff like that. And that's when you hit them upside the head or whatnot, right? But I always taught my children the goal is to get home safe, okay? Because I'm not sitting on the side of the road and arguing with no cop. He said I was speeding and I feel like I wasn't speeding. I'm going to take the ticket. I'm going to go to court and I'm going to fight, okay? Because it's up to him to prove that I was, okay? You understand what I'm saying? So anyway, but let's continue. I'm only saying that because we know how it is here in America, all right? So the goal is to get home safe.
Hey, I'm about to break the window.
So somebody said they don't have their headlights on too. Their headlights are on. Their headlights always on though. But the headlights, I think they go off when you park. But the headlights are definitely on. Like you can see that headlight right there. And if I go back to the video when he was coming up, the lights when he was coming up. Hold on. Let's get back to when this cop was coming up.
Okay.
You see his headlights are on. Well, they're kind of like side headlights. If I'm not mistaken. I think I see it like right here or whatever. But anyway, let's go back to the part where, okay, I think this is it right here. Okay, so Candy said, in my opinion, we have rights and this is not Candy, our moderator Candy is a different Candy. But she says, in my opinion, we have rights and we have the right to question the stop. I've seen them profile FBI agents only to have to back off. I do believe you can question the stop, but even the FBI agents that I've seen, they still comply, right? They've even put FBI agents in the backseat of the car and they were still questioning it, but they were complying. You have to understand they still comply. They still show their license. They still show their registration. They still show all the required documents and whatnot, but they still ask the question as they are complying, okay? Because let's think about it. He said your lights were not on, your headlights. At most, that's nothing but a ticket. He's not facing jail time for not having his headlights on. The only thing that they would have done with no headlights, they asked for his driver's license, they asked for his insurance, and they asked for the registration. If he was driving legal, right, and had driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration, at most he would have gotten a ticket. A ticket, okay? But as we see, you know, as we're gonna see, or we already heard, he was driving on suspended license. Okay, let's continue.
I'm about to break the window. I'm about to break the window. All right, good for it. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands. Here.
Now, I want you to take a look at this because the Sheriff Waters says that this view does not show the stripe, but you damn sure hear it. You understand what I'm saying? He was like, oh no, it was already investigated. And they reviewed this body footage and they did not see the stripe, but you damn sure heard it. Okay, but let's listen.
Step out. What is your reason?
Okay, let's go back because I don't think y'all heard it because I ain't hear it. Oh shit. Okay. Let's go.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands. Here.
So they're gonna show a different part unless they didn't took this shit out because I know the one I seen earlier had it in there, but I think they're gonna show a different part. Let's continue. Now, right there, that's where the sucker punch in the face and holding your head down to the ground. Now, I'm no police officer. I don't know how it goes, but I would think that this was not authorized, okay? I do not believe that you can grab someone by anything above the neck. You know what I'm saying? The neck, the face, the head, or anything like that. So I would assume that this is not authorized. This is street fighting to me. This is when you do, we call it guerrilla warfare. How do they call it? Guerrilla warfare. When you get grimy and you get dirty, okay? When you don't play by the rules. Guerrilla warfare is when you ain't playing by the rules. So I would assume grabbing someone's head and forcing their face in the concrete is dangerous. He could have hit his head. He did hit his head. It had a slight concussion, but he could have left him brain damaged or, you know, a few other things. When you're messing with the head, okay, the head space, your facial and your head space, you are really trying to do damage, okay? All right, so I think that was definitely excessive, but I think they're going to show us a different view of the camera where we are going to hear the sucker punch that he did in the car. I mean, of course, everything seemed that happened so fast, the scuffle. But and another thing I never understood. You're a police officer, you have a stick, you have mace, you have a weapon. You understand what I'm saying? But it takes 4 humans, 4 men to handle a 22-year-old. I never understood that. I never understood why 4 sets of hands have to touch one person. Like, I don't understand that. If I was a sheriff or something like that, I would be like, if you can't handle a person either by yourself or maybe one other person, when is it there ever in need of 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 people wrestling down one person? Are you saying that you got a force of weaklings? That's how I look at it. I do not understand why they all have to touch him. But apparently, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Let's continue.
What is your reason?
many people? Let me see if they're gonna put it. Okay, you see the black man hand, even though he ain't doing much, it's still resting on his shoulder blade, as if the guy that got his head and the guy that got his hands and the guy that got his legs ain't good enough. Oh, let me put down his shoulder. Let me put my hand on his shoulder to make sure he don't get away. Now, when they say stop resisting, the man hands is already behind his back and y'all can clearly see that he is not moving. But you're going to hear stop resisting, get your hands behind your back when he's already in cuffs. Okay, look. Now his hands are already behind his back. You see that? Put your hands behind your back and they're still saying stop resisting.
What you mean? I was putting my hands behind my back. I was doing.
So I don't think the cuff was on. So I take that back. The cuffs were not on at the time. Okay, the cuff was not on at the time. So as you can see the vehicle, so I thought the cops did this damage to his car, but I saw it later. I mean, they barely touched the car, but you would think that they lift up the hood. But when I seen another photo of it, the hood was already lifted. Because I was like, damn, did they ram him? Because I was thinking, well, damn, maybe his tooth busted through his lips when they rammed him. But that wasn't the case. They really didn't ram him. They just really, really close. Okay. All right, let's continue. Four officers for one 22-year-old. It just makes me think, like, what the hell type training do they do? Lord, jeez. We won't like this in the military. You know what I'm saying? We ain't like this in the military. I give us a little bit more credit than these damn officers out here. God damn. Big hefty ass police officers too. Like, what's really going on? You don't know how to take somebody down.
Marijuana in the right pocket. Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up? Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, but I didn't do nothing. Don't resist it.
Now, right here, you can see that his mouth is bleeding. Now, what we don't know as of right now, we're not aware that his tooth went through his lip. Okay, he slammed his head so far into the pavement that this blood that we see right here, it is coming because his tooth in his mouth went through his lip. Okay.
I didn't do nothing wrong. Can you back me up to the car so I can leave now? You broke my
So you start rescue. 1067. Black me. 30-year-old Bravo Mike. Last race no left. Go around in the car.
And it gets me. You see how they're examining themselves like they just so hurt or whatever. They're examining their arms and their fingers like they really in some type of. They're doing that in front of the camera. You do know that, right? They're definitely putting their arm, their fingers, appears to be kind of swollen. They're doing all that in front of the body camera because of course, they want to try to, as much as possible, justify the level of force and also 4 people on one. So that is why you see them sticking their hands and their arms, showing the blood, showing the swelling, showing the cut or whatever on their hands, again, to justify their force, okay? And you see him, did you hear that? Like it was so exhausting, like it was so hurtful and so painful. Did you hear that? And then you see this officer shake his arm as if like it's so pain. Listen, look at him. I want y'all to see it. This is just a little small shit that I pick up. And you hear him say, that's not good. That ain't good, right?
Yeah. I know. No. Yeah. Oh,
Oh, I must have missed it. Hold on, let me go back. Hold on. He's shaking his head like, and then he says, like he in some type of excruciating pain.
I know.
I don't know. Maybe they get extra money if there's, they scratched up a little bit in the line of duty. Maybe they get extra money.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You good? Yeah, you or him? Okay.
Let's get music on.
Okay. Now we're about to see a different view of the camera. Okay, so I'm gonna just go a little further. And now we're gonna see a different body cam view. Okay. All right. Now this is the guy that was talking to him on the other side of the vehicle. Okay, here we go. She said the black officer reminds me of what? The black officer reminds me of Samuel Jackson. Rome Django. What is that, Django?
Conducting a traffic stop right now. You need to comply.
I am.
Hey, unlock the car. I'm gonna push it up.
Open the door. Door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Now, this officer is about to walk around to the passenger side, okay?
For resisting.
Can you unlock the door and step out? I will. Can you step out?
Because you don't even know the whole situation.
You're being done. There's a traffic stop being conducted. You're required to comply.
I'm required to
So, yes. Correct. Huh? Okay. So what did he ask for when he?
Now, who was the person that said they didn't see no water or no rain? Do you see it now? Do you see the rain and the water drops or whatever that's on the vehicle? It's not pouring down, but and it doesn't even appear that it may be raining right now, but it was. So that means the weather, the roads are still somewhat slippery. You understand what I'm saying? So let's continue.
I guess talk to you.
When he pulled me over,
Yeah.
opened my door to my window don't work.
Oh yeah.
And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like,
Okay.
there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's still a legitimate reason to pull somebody over.
There's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Now, he's saying it doesn't matter if there's no rain. You're still required to have headlights on because guess what it says? The law says smoky, foggy, misty, raining. Okay? And it's 4 p.m. in Florida. Look at the skies. It's 4 p.m. in Florida. Smoky, foggy, misty, rainy. Okay?
Huh? Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will. Huh? All right, go for it.
exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Okay, now, right on this part, you see him reach his hand in the car, and you hear him smack him. So when Sheriff Waters says that if they had known about the smack earlier, that they would have done investigation. Whoever viewed this videotape needs to go back to school, okay? Because you can clearly hear him smack him.
Huh? All right, go for it.
Listen.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
Okay, did you see he reached in there and he hits him? Let's do it one more time for those all the way in the back.
Huh? All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now.
Okay. Boom. He reaches in and he sucker punched him right here. But this is where Sheriff Waters said they missed this. They missed this. They did not see him strike him, is what they said. He said, you can clearly see in the video that we did not see a strike. Okay. They may not have shown what we saw from the boy, McNeil's advantage point, his view, but you can definitely hear the smack and you can definitely see him reach his hands in to strike him. Okay. You can definitely see it and hear it.
Huh? All right, go for it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hand. Here. Not here. What's your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason?
Step out now.
All right. No, don't. What's the fight? Behind your back. I'm resisting. Behind your back. Proud of you.
2574, with 1033, one in custody.
Stop. We not now, man. Ain't no bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest.
No, that's yes, bro. Yes. That's a lawful reason, bro. On the board like that, bro? Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to let him go.
That's not how it works.
It ain't too late. When they ask you to step out of the vehicle, you should have.
Okay, which one y'all saying turn their camera off? Which one? Hold on, let me look at it. Let me go back. Which one turned their camera off?
You're under arrest. No, that's yes, bro. Yes. That's a lawful reason, bro. On the board like that, bro? Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to let him go.
That's not how it works.
It ain't too late. When they ask you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that. So your partner didn't even act.
The cop that punched him. Let's go back to the cop that punched him. Y'all said the cop that punched him turned his camera off. But another cop saw it though. Okay, let's look.
For it.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle.
All right, hold on. Let me go back. Because when did he turn his camera off? Let's go back a little bit more. All right, let's go. Oh, I went back too far. He goes over, he talks to him. You talking about him? He turned his camera off? You saying this guy right here turned his camera off? No, I think he's the one that captured it. Actually,
Okay. So what did he ask for when he I guess called you?
When he pulled me over,
Yeah.
opened my door because my window don't work.
Okay.
And then I said, so what I did wrong?
Yeah.
He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like,
Okay.
there's multiple people headlights.
Okay, that's still a legitimate reason to pull somebody over.
There's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Huh?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
okay.
Huh?
I'll go back and look in a minute. Thank you.
Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hand. Here.
I don't see how Sheriff Waters say that he didn't see this man stick his hand in there and punch him. I just don't understand how he missed that. You can hear that punch.
Not here. What's your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason?
And you can clearly see that they took off the seatbelt as well.
Step out now.
All right.
Let me move.
No. What's the fight? Behind your back. I'm resisting. Behind your back. Proud of you.
2574, with 1033, one in custody.
Stop. We not now, man. Ain't no bro. What's going on, man?
You're under arrest.
No, that's yes, bro. Yes. That's a lawful reason, bro. On going like that, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off of you, bro. Yeah.
And I'm just trying to remember when I'm going.
That's not how it works.
Too late. It ain't too late. When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that. So your partner didn't even act. Your
Marijuana
partner
in the right pocket.
Yes, it is. So I close the door.
He's 22 years old.
Man, what you mean? You talking about arresting me and stuff, bro? I didn't do nothing.
Oh, no resisting, idiot.
I didn't do nothing wrong.
Turn it on, man.
Came back there sometimes I cleaned up.
I did.
Okay.
That ain't good.
Yeah. I know. You should put some gloves on, bro.
No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he got blood on his hand, but it's from McNeil's because his face hit the pavement and his tooth went through his lip. Okay, that's where the blood's coming from. Not because he bit him or stabbed him or scraped his hand on the pavement at all. It's McNeil's blood.
There. Huh? You see that, John? What? The knife? Yeah, that's it.
So this must be a third view of the camera.
4, 6. From you. See that knife?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest concerns. Yeah, you see what right there?
So, in my opinion, the fact that they're saying, do you see that knife? It's almost like they're trying to say, I don't know, or maybe come up with some type of way to justify saying that, hey, we did good to take him down. All 4 of us, we took this 22-year-old down because he was going to stab us. That's what it sounds like they're trying to get at. Like, it could have been worse because he had a weapon in the car. A knife is considered a weapon.
On the seat. What?
No, can.
Oh, yeah.
So the sheriff definitely wanted us to see the knife, okay?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest concerns. Yeah, you see what right there on the seat? What?
No, can.
Oh, yeah.
Coming from home or West Hometown?
One video clip, devoid of context, can be very misleading. Given that video never brought this incident to JSO's attention, but rather pushed the cell phone, defend, nor commend Officer Bauer's response to resistance until all the facts are known and the investigation is completed. However, as the leader of this agency, I will not remain silent while important facts and information are buried to advance an anti-police agenda. The truth is, William McNeil Jr. was non-compliant with JSO officers within 21 seconds after he was stopped for multiple civil infractions. His non-compliance quickly rose to the level of criminal resistance to a police officer. McNeil was arrested and pled guilty to resisting a police officer without violence. Force absolutely looks ugly. And because all force is ugly, whether or not the officer involved acted within outside JSO policy, that's still what we're investigating. The state attorney's office, once again, has reviewed the case materials and determined that Officer Bauer's actions are not criminal. Now, JSO will conduct a thorough investigation to determine whether Officer Bowers acted appropriately with respect to JSO policy. When an officer does wrong, I think every one of you know this and everyone that's listening, I will stand up here and tell you straight. And likewise, when officers justifiably use force, I'll stand up here also and I'll tell you straight. I ask the public for its patience as the administrative process is completely, competently completed. Once we determine whether Officer Bowers acted within policy or not, I will immediately share that determination with the public. Out of an abundance of caution, pending the outcome of this administrative review, Officer Bowers has been stripped of his law enforcement authority, effective immediately.
So you heard what he said. Officer Bowers has been stripped of his law enforcement authority, which means that they have either placed him on administrative leave or, I'm just going to assume that they probably placed him on administrative leave with pay. And the reason why I said with pay, because they said law enforcement authority, okay? Meaning they probably took his badge, but he's still getting paid, okay? That's what it sounds to me that he's saying.
Video footage presented in this briefing is available on all JSO social media platforms, YouTube, and JSO's transparency page. So I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have right now. Yeah, Eric? Yes, sir.
So here comes the questions, and the main questions is going to be about that sucker punch. And listen to what he says about the punch.
Mhm. Yep.
But there was, when I go back and look at the other video from the cell phone video,
Yeah.
I can understand the officer punching the window out. But what I don't understand is, and I know you said that this was not a little criminal, sucker punching the guy in the jaw.
First of all, let me stop you. Not a sucker punch. I'm not excusing that administratively. I'm going to say that to you one more time. I'm not excusing that administratively. There are things that we definitely need to look at. But the context of this video should tell you everything you need to know.
Well, yeah.
He says he's not excusing it while he's trying to excuse it. Did you catch that? He said it's not a sucker punch, right? He said it's not a sucker punch, but then he says, but the context of this video, everything you need to know basically about that punch, this video tells you everything you need to know. So what Sheriff Waters is trying to say is that that sucker punch that he wants to say is not a sucker punch. He wants to try to say it was justified. I disagree with that. You know, you understand what I'm saying? I disagree with that. I'm gonna give y'all my full opinion in a minute.
I take it. It looks like it's a sucker punch because he's looking straight. And you see this,
Right.
Okay, and then you see them pull him out. You
Yep.
see a couple of punches to the face. Now, again, I understand breaking the window, but he charged him with resisting arrest without violence. So I saw a lot of violence. I think the public saw a lot of violence against somebody that was not violent.
Well, first of all, Eric, don't try to talk the public into what they saw. They just saw the same video as you saw.
So the sheriff seems a little aggressive. You understand what I'm saying? He seems a little aggressive and accusatorial. He's telling the guy, I don't know if it's a reporter or I don't know who the hell it is that he's talking to, but he's trying to tell him, don't try to talk the public into something that's not there. Okay. So he's very defensive in, you know, he doesn't like the questioning. He does not like the line of questioning that he's receiving. So he's been defensive.
So what we're doing, what I'm saying is that it is what it is. This is the information that I want to share with the public in context without a short clip. It's very important to do that because it provides a lot of information to the public.
And you brought up
It's important, let me finish. It's important for the people to know that you're not allowed to resist a police officer when he's doing his lawful duties. It's been dealt with several different times. You don't resist when you're doing your lawful duties. You don't deserve to get violated, but you deserve to get what's necessary to get you under control and get you and take you into custody.
Under control. The young fellow wasn't out of control. Not one time did I see McNeil become out of control. Now, what I will say, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I do believe that he should have complied. I do believe that he should have gave his license, registration, and insurance. I do not believe he should have closed that door and kept saying, no, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? After he was told why he was stopped. And in my opinion, it was a legal stop. It was a petty stop, but it was a legal stop, okay? So my opinion, he should have complied. But also in my opinion, that punch was unfreaking necessary because he was not non-compliant in the car. Well, not gonna say non-compliant. He was not aggressive in the car. Okay, he was not aggressive.
I'll leave there. I'll go ahead.
One of the discrepancies we were seeing in the police report and what we saw in video, what we saw in that video was the allegation that McNeil had reached down for the knife. That was in the police report.
Where'd you see? What police report did you see that in?
The arrest report for McNeil. That was stated.
See, you know, sheriff don't like that. Did y'all just hear what he said? And see, this is one of the reasons why cops get on my nerves. Not all of them, but you know, scammy ass cops like this. So did y'all hear what he just said? I'm gonna run it back. But they said in the initial police report, they claimed that McNeil reached down to grab the weapon. I'm going to run that back and let y'all hear this. And now Sheriff Water, you see him with his eyes closed, right? Because he probably like, damn, my scammy ass officers tried to pull a fast one. They love lying on you. They love accusing you of shit that you didn't do so that charges can be stacked up against you, okay? And needed if necessary. So there was no way in that police report that they should have said that he reached down to grab the knife. But that's how some of these officers become scumballs because they, you know, become liars to protect each other. But listen to what the guy says.
Go ahead.
One of the discrepancies we were seeing in the police report and what we saw in video, what we saw in that video was the allegation that McNeil had reached down for the knife. That was in the police report.
Where'd you see? What police report did you see that in?
And why is the sheriff asking, what police report did you see that at? As if he don't know that that was in the police report. Why are you the sheriff if you didn't know that that was in the police report that he reached down to grab for the knife?
The arrest report for McNeil.
They said it was in his arrest report. So the arrest report for McNeil, the arrest report said that he reached down to grab the knife.
The officer saw him reach for the knife that was on the floorboard.
And said that the officer saw him reach for the knife that was on the floorboard.
You know, the video was supposed to be in there. Clear indication. Do you see that when you're watching?
No, actually, I don't see where his hands are. I can't assume.
Oh, see, you know, oh my God. So the reporter asked him, did you see that? And he says, no, I didn't see that. Actually, I don't see where his hands are. Okay. So now he's like, I don't know where his hands are. So you can assume that he was reaching for the knife. You can assume that he was doing this or the third. I don't know where his hands are. Instead of just saying no, the video clearly shows that the man's hand was near the steering wheel or at his chest because you can see it in the young fella's McNeil's video. Not one time did he even lean toward the floor to grab anything, okay? And he had on a seatbelt.
In there, clear indication. Do you see that when you're watching?
No, actually, I don't see where his hands are. I can't assume, Jake. No one can assume.
No one can assume, but that's not what he asked him. No one can assume? No. It was in the police report that he reached down, that an officer saw him reach down to grab the weapon. That is a lie. So now the sheriff is like, oh, you can't assume. Oh, you can't assume, so just lie? Just come up with a bold-faced ass lie. If you don't see his hands, just accuse him of reaching for the knife. Just go ahead and accuse him because you can't assume if he was doing it or not because you can't see his hands. Come on, Sheriff Waters. How you gonna lie like that? How?
No, actually, I don't see where his hands are. I can't assume, Jake. No one can assume. We operate off facts and facts alone. I can't make assumptions. All I can go by when I read those things is what's stated in the report. I'm not saying whether it's true or whether it's not. I'm saying no one can.
Okay, now did he just not contradict himself? Huh? Did he not just contradict himself? He said we go off of facts and facts alone, and then come right back and says whether it's true or not. Okay, listen. You got to listen to words, the context of words. He literally contradicts himself by saying, we go off for facts and facts alone. And I just read what's in the report, whether it's true or not. Whether it's true or not, then that means you don't go off of facts. You go off of whatever they tell you, you believe it. Let's just say that. You believe whatever your officers tell you, whether it's true or not. Not no facts. No. Whatever they write down, you believe that shit. Say that.
I can't assume, Jake. No one can assume. I operate and we operate off facts and facts alone. I can't make assumptions. All I can go by when I read those things is what's stated in the report. I'm not saying whether it's true or whether it's not. I'm
not saying whether it's true or whether it's not. Not saying whether it's true or whether it's not. But we go by facts and facts alone. No, you go by whatever they tell you, you believe that. Period.
Those things is what's stated in the report. I'm not saying whether it's true or whether it's not. I'm saying no one sees his hands at that point. He says, put your hands up.
No one sees his hands at that point, but the affidavit, the arrest affidavit says that an officer saw him reach down to grab the weapon. He didn't even answer the question. I don't even know if he knows he didn't answer the question. He has not answered the man's question.
Those things is what's stated in the report. I'm not saying whether it's true or whether it's not. I'm saying no one sees his hands at that point. He says, put your hands up, then his hands come up. But it was after the strike to the face. Like I said, again, I'm not trying this case in front of the public.
So now that's his way of trying to ease out of the question that was asked. He doesn't want to answer the question. He doesn't want to answer why his police officers lied on the arresting report stating that McNeil reached for the weapon. So now all of a sudden, he's not going to try the case in the public. I'm not going to try this case in the public because I don't want to contradict myself any further because my officer clearly lied in the arrest report and I don't want to get tied up in the lie, so I'm not going to try this case in public because you just backed me into a brick wall. You backed me into a corner by pointing out that one of my officers that's under my leadership lied, or four of them. Either one of four of my officers lied in the arrest report. Look at his face. He don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He probably taught them to lie.
I'm not saying whether it's true or whether it's not. I'm saying no one sees his hands at that point. He says, put your hands up, then his hands come up. But it was after the strike to the face. Like I said, again, I'm not trying this case in front of the public. I'm trying to give the public the information in context of what happened. No one saw his hands at that point. Don't know what happened from there, but that's part of the investigative process.
So if no one saw his hands, then somebody that said they saw him reach down to grab the knife needs to be fired. They need to be terminated for lying, for fraudulently saying that this man reached down for a knife, even though he wasn't charged for it, but it makes it sound worse. You know what I mean? It makes it sound horrible.
Yes, put it in the property room. But he got it back with all the information still on it.
Can I get back to the second one?
Young lady back there had a question. We can get back to you in a second, Eric.
So Eric says, can we get back to the sucker punch? He said, we'll get back to you in a minute. He don't want to talk about the sucker punch. He's like, no, let's go to this other person because, I don't really want to address that sucker punch, even though he don't say that.
Yes. So here's the process. When force is used, a response to resistance report is written. It goes to the supervisors. The supervisors then, at that point, review body cam footage. So they would have reviewed this. But you can't see, admittedly, you can't see the strike at all. So it's very difficult. Had they seen that, it probably would have risen to another level to where somebody else would have gone further. which is why.
So they didn't report it for excessive force, as you heard, right? And the reason why they didn't report it for excessive force, because he's trying to say that when the body cam footage was reviewed, they didn't see the punch. But you can hear it and you can see him stick his hand in there and strike him. Even if you can't see it directly, right? The fact that the man's tooth went through his lip, that's excessive force in itself. That's excessive force in itself. So what he's trying to say is, if they would have reported for excessive, well, let me go back, because I don't know if he's saying if they, because he's trying to say the reason why it wasn't investigated is because they didn't see the punch. But what about the dude's tooth going through his lip? Let's continue.
At that point, review body cam footage. So they would have reviewed this.
Hold on.
So here's the process. When force is used, a response to resistance report is written. It goes to the supervisors. The supervisors then, at that point, review body cam footage. So they would have reviewed this, but you can't see.
So what he's saying is the supervisor reviewed it and didn't see nothing wrong. That's basically what he's saying. A supervisor reviewed it and didn't see anything wrong with it, and that's why it wasn't further investigated.
Admittedly, you can't see the strike at all. So it's very difficult. Had they seen that, it probably would have risen to another level.
So had the supervisor seen the strike, then he would have had to report it further. So he just turned the blind eye to hearing that smack and the guy reach his hands in the car. He just turned the blind eye, basically.
Somebody else would have gone further, which is why we didn't really know at that time that all this had taken place. I'm a big believer in being honest enough.
So now here's the thing. He just said they didn't know at that time that taking place, but they kept his phone from February the 19th to March the 5th. You can't tell me they kept his phone and didn't see his own footage. But now they trying to say, oh, we just found out yesterday like y'all. Hell, we didn't know all of this stuff happened. We just found out like y'all found out yesterday. Had we known earlier, we would have done something about it. Huh?
Front. And if something like that happens, I'm going to tell you about it, like everything else that we've done. But it's very important to make sure we get this stuff out here in context so folks can see it. Yes, ma'am.
Chair, what's your thoughts on video that was posted on social media? One of the officers kind of turns off, what's being reported.
I don't know that he turned it off. I know that at some point we stopped it, but we wanted to make sure you got a chance to see both views from the officers that were dealing with him publicly, talking to him face to face. At some point it does turn off, but usually when the interaction's over is when that happens. And that's why we're still looking. That's why we look at the entire process. That's why we check for.
So I'm gonna go back and play the other video because that reporter person just asked, why did your officer turn his camera off? And he's like, well, at some point it turns off, once the situation, the altercation is over, it turns itself off. But I'm gonna go back to that video to see, did it turn itself off or did they turn it off?
So policy violations. I can't give you right now whether they turned it off at the right time or the wrong time. This is my opportunity to share the information with the public, right? And so now we still continue to refer to the social media video. I just showed you body cam videos with much more information. Let's acknowledge that because that's important. The importance is I'm showing you the video.
So Sheriff Waters is basically saying, now that y'all seen my video, let's play down the social media video is basically what he just said. He's like, y'all still asking me questions about the social media video when I just showed y'all body cam footage of my guy's video. That's basically what he's saying. You still asking me questions about this social media video. What about what I just showed you? So he thinks in his mind, what I just showed you should be good enough for you to forget about what happened on the cell phone video, okay?
The body cam video from the entire incident from start until they had to turn it off or we stop it for time, for time's sake. He did not. He did not. He never filed a formal complaint, which we'd have been all over it, had that been the case.
Oh, please. Now he's saying, had McNeil came forward and filed a formal complaint, they would have been all over it. They would have did all the investigation and all that bull crap. And, Detective Bowers would have been sitting down, investigated, took away from his authorities and stripped from his authorities his badge, his money. Yeah, they would have been all over it. Okay.
But he did not. Go ahead.
So I just want to get back to the punch. This is just a yes or no question.
Wait, Eric, are you going to tell me how to answer a question?
I'm just
He's so defensive.
All right, go ahead.
Was it appropriate for the officer to punch this guy in the jaw after he'd already broken the window? Was that yes or no? Was that appropriate?
It depends on the circumstances. But it's already determined it's not criminal. Now we're going to look for JSO policy violations. How about that? Is that good?
Well, if a civilian did that to another civilian, they would
be charged with assault. Oh my goodness. I love the way he just said, if a civilian would have did that to another civilian, he would have been charged with assault, criminal assault. But when a police punch you in your jaw, it's not criminal. It's not criminal.
No, not necessarily. It depends on the circumstances, the situation.
So basically he's saying the police, and look how he's smug. Look at him. So basically he's saying they can get away with punching you in your jaw and you can't do shit about it. And he over here falling asleep. Somebody need to wake him up, splash water in his face or something. Because this joker didn't go to bed last night and he up here looking all smug like, yeah, we can kick your ass. We can drag you. We can knock your teeth out your mouth. We can do all that and y'all can't do shit about it. Oh, well. And somebody please wake him up over here because Lord Jesus, he done fell asleep.
That's how you want it to be. I know there's a tendency to want to be some massive cover up. There's not. That's why I'm here. I stand up. We talk to you about what happened. We give you what we can give you. Then it's up to you guys to report it. But
do you think the public is going to buy that?
I don't know. My point is.
Do you think the black community is going to buy it?
Don't use the black thing. I'm a black man. Wait, hold on, Eric. Hold on. Stop for a second. Because you're trying to be incendiary. And this is not the time for it. This is me sharing information with our public, right? The whole statements about the black issue. I wouldn't work here if we're after black men or black people, period. I can tell you he wouldn't. I can tell you any other African American or black male or female that works here wouldn't work here if our black citizens are under siege. Not the case. Not at all. Been alive probably a little bit longer than you have. Haven't had any of these issues. You know why? Because if I was ever stopped by the police, which I was when I was a young man, and they asked me to do something, I did. Simple compliance. It doesn't rise. It doesn't get out of control. That stuff doesn't happen then. Do as we ask you to do. If you don't like the word compliance, just do as we ask you to do then, so that we can get finished. Then you tell us about it if you feel like your rights were violated, and we can deal with it.
So I understand what Sheriff Waters is talking about, but at the same time, he's still trying to disregard the punch in the face. He's still trying to disregard the slam of his face down to the ground. He's trying to disregard that. That's what he's trying to do. I understand comply. The young fella should have complied, but the punch was unnecessary. And the only reason why Sheriff Waters is not saying it, he knows it was unnecessary, but the only reason why he's not saying it because he knows it will make his officer look bad. They have covered up other stuff like that before, in my opinion.
That's the way it should work. Every single time. Yes, ma'am. Not that I know of. We'd have to look. But
now, how the hell do you say not that you know of? So basically what the reporter just asked, and it was very important, and I would be interested to know, they asked the officer that punched the guy in the jaw, does he have a disciplinary history? He says not that he know of. Like, dude, don't you know your officers? Like, if I was a platoon leader or a commander, don't you know I would know whether or not my soldier has disciplinary issues or disciplinary history? The fact that he said not that I know of, in my opinion, means yeah, but I don't want to come straight out and tell y'all. So then later he can say, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one too. And yeah, I forgot about that one too. Okay? Trust me, before he came out to the doggone public right here, the what do they call this conference? The news conference. He already looked into Bauer's record. He already know what type of officer Bauer is. The fact that he says not that I know of means yes, he got some history of doing some shady shit. Period.
I don't think so. We'll get you that answer.
I don't think so. How do you not know?
Anyone else?
He says, not that I know of. I don't think so, but we'll get you that information. Yeah, watch Bowers come out and he's not clean.
Tell, but we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible. There are other cases working, but we're trying to get it.
Now, mind you, I want to point this out. The guy that just spoke is from Internal Affairs. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Let me see. Is he from Internal Affairs or he asked an Internal Affairs question? But watch how Sheriff Waters toned down his little smart comments or nonchalant attitude when he responds to him. Because let me tell you one thing about police officers. They can't stand internal affairs, okay? They can't stand internal affairs because internal affairs check their asses. Do you understand me? They check their asses. But listen to how his whole demeanor changes when he mentions internal affairs.
Anyone else? It's hard to tell, but we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible. There are other cases working, but we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible because we want to.
Wait a minute, let's go back.
We'll get you that answer. Anyone else? It's hard to tell, but we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible. There are other cases working, but we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible because we want to, like I said, we want to share as much as we can, as quickly as we can, because it's that important. Good? All right, thanks, y'all.
So anyway, so that's the Sheriff Waters from Jacksonville Police Department with his brief update on his side of the story. He thought he ate though. In my opinion, okay, so let me just go on and give y'all my opinion of the whole ordeal, okay? So let's go back one more time. Y'all asked to see the video one more time. Let's go back to the video one more time. And then we will talk about my...
When he pulled me over.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to the video. One more time.
He walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Yeah. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Yeah, can you put that law up?
Huh?
Can you put that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it.
So now, it's funny how Sheriff says he don't know what his hands was. He don't know what a guy hands was. Oh, let me go back. Because I want to see does the guy lean down. Let's see if he leaned down at all for a weapon.
He walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Yeah. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
So when y'all say turn his camera off, are y'all talking about right there where I saw him messing with his front desk? Is he turning the camera off now?
Can you put that law up? Huh? Can you put that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call your supervisor? Can you call your supervisor?
All right, go for it. Exit the vehicle now. Exit.
And they didn't see that. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Oh, no, he did that shit on purpose. You hear me? He did that on purpose. He absolutely did that.
Show me your hand. Here.
At what point did he reach for the knife?
I'm here. What is your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason? Step out now. Oh.
Knowing he did not reach for that knife, he is crazy. And look at him. He's like, oh, I want to get him again. That's the one that punched him, right? That's the one that punched him. He's like, oh, I want to get him again. Oh, you said he turned the camera off? Let me go back. Hold on, y'all. You know, Instagram got their little, thing going on. I don't know how to rewind.
He walked up, opened my door because my window don't work, right? Yeah. And then I said, so what I did wrong? Yeah. He said, well, for one, your headlights are off under this weather. I'm like, okay. There's multiple people headlights off, first of all. And then there's no rain.
It doesn't matter. You're still required to have headlights on.
Yeah, can you put that law up? Huh? Can you put that law up?
Yeah, when you step out of the car, I will.
Can you call the supervisor? Can you call the supervisor?
All right, go for it. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hand. Here. I'm here. What is your reason, sir? Step out. What is your reason? Step out now. Oh.
Oh, yeah, he punched him. So the same guy that punched him while he was in the car punched him again while he was out the car. It was the same guy. So you can already just deem him as a violent person. He's a physical abuser because he punched him while he had his hand in the car and he punched him again outside of the car.
Put your hand behind your back. What's wrong with you?
And if I'm not mistaken, isn't he the same one that got his head down to the ground? Oh, no, he's not. That's the one that's walking. So that's not the one that got his head down to the ground.
Bro, I'm sorry, bro. What's going on, bro? You're under arrest. That's
what's going on.
No. Yes, bro. You gotta have a lawful reason, bro. There's a knife center in here, too.
So now they just seeing the knife. You hear how he just said there's a big knife there? So how can you now say that the guy reached down to grab the knife? He just noticing the knife is on the floor. So how are you going to put in the arrest report that he reached down and grabbed the knife?
You on the floor like that, bro? Yeah, I'm going to take it off, bro. Yeah. And I'm just trying to have a regular conversation with y'all, bro. It don't work too late. It ain't no too late. When they asked you to step out of the vehicle, you should have done that shit. So your pocket didn't even act. Marijuana in his right pocket. Yes, it is. So why close the door if you see him pull up? Because, man, what you mean? He talking about arresting me and stuff, bro. Go over to you idiot.
So, all right. So, like we've seen the video, we've seen the video, we've seen the body camera from 3 different angles. Or somewhat 2.5 different angles because, one of them only showed a little bit, showed him digging through the guy's junky car or whatever. But the young fella is 22 and they tend to have dirty cars. However, so from what we've seen, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments and I'm going to give y'all my unapologetic, direct, bold opinion of what I think. I think y'all already kind of know, but y'all tell me in the comments. Okay, now we can always agree to disagree, but I believe it was a legal stop. Okay, that's first of all, it was a legal stop only because I did the research and found out that in Florida, the law says you are to have on your headlights when it is rainy, misty, foggy, smoky, dewy, drizzling, any type of rain, any type of inclement weather. You have to have on your headlights. Now, do I think the stop was petty? Yes, legal and petty, okay? Now, do I think that he should have complied with the officer when the officer asked for license, registration, and proof of insurance? Yes, I do. Why? Because it was a legal stop. I believe when he closed the door, after saying no and closed the door and then refused to open the door. Now, if his window worked, he probably would not have had to open the door because he could have just rolled down the window and talked to the officer. But when he said no and closed the door, basically he was telling the officer to kiss his ass. Okay? I'm not talking to you. Now, I also believe when you ask for a supervisor, that they should call a supervisor. Okay? I do believe a citizen is allowed to ask for a supervisor and a supervisor come out. Now, I don't know if one of those was a supervisor. I don't think it was. It sounded like just some cops eating donuts and just pulled up because they was in the area. However, it did not say whether or not either one of them was a supervisor or not. However, so I do believe he should have complied. He was found to not have valid driver's license, so that could have been a reason why he did not want to give his driver's license, registration, and insurance. Because let's talk about it for a second. When you are in compliance, when you have registration, when you have driver's license, that's, within good standings, and when you have proof of insurance, you do not hesitate to show him that. It's almost a flex. You're like, I got my shit. Here you go. Because to be honest with you, it probably could have ended in a warning, you guys. If he had everything that he was supposed to have, at most, he would have received a headlight ticket. A no headlight on ticket. Now, I don't know how much that cost, but I'm sure it was, he could have went to court and said, you know what, I wasn't aware, or whatever the case may be, and they probably would have thrown it out or whatever the case may be. So again, I do believe that if he had all his things in compliance, that he would have shown it. So he knew his license was suspended, and that was one of the reasons why he says, no, I'm not going to show it to you. So do I feel the young fella escalated the situation? Yes, I do. Do I believe that the sucker punch to his face was warranted? No, I do not. I think that cop is a coward. I think that cop is abusive, and I think that cop needs to be fired, okay? And I think that if the sheriff's department wants to not hold that cop accountable, then the whole department should take the heat for it. Whether that's a lawsuit, whether that's they come in the mayor or whatever and get rid of the whole crew, because they can do that or whatever. Get rid of the whole crew. Will they? I doubt it, but they can make some changes. You know what I mean? So I do believe that the excessive force of punching him in the face and then again punching him after he had his hands behind his back. Let's look at it. This is a picture of the incident. You see the guy's hands behind his back. And what do you see? You see the cop's hand on his jaw. He is an abuser. And I believe if he did it to McNeil, he has done it to several other people that he has arrested. So when they asked Sheriff Waters, does this cop have a history of bad behavior? And Sheriff Waters says, I don't know. I don't think so. That is just his way of saying, yeah, he does, but I'm not going to tell you right here. Y'all going to have to figure that and find out on your own, okay? So again, he said, I'm a Colombian cop, don't like us. I'm Colombian, cops don't like us. Oh, they don't? Oh, wow. So, but I do believe that this was excessive force, and I also believe slamming somebody's head into pavement is excessive. Like I said earlier, a lot could have happened. What did happen? Well, he received a concussion. His tooth went through his lip. He chipped his tooth, it went through his lip, and he had to receive 9 stitches. And he still suffers from memory loss to this day. Now, they tell you all the time, be careful around the head area because it could cause a whole lot of damage. Slamming somebody's head into a concrete can cause a lot of different things. Brain damage, concussions, a lot of different things, memory loss or whatnot. But it also can cause fractures to your face. He could have broken whole lots of bones in his face. So was it excessive? Yes, it was. Especially, let's think about it. We're talking about a headlight here, but not just a headlight. It escalated to him non-compliance, okay? So that's why he was snatched from the car, because of non-compliance. but snatched from the car by 4 police officers, slung to the ground so hard that you mashed somebody's face into the concrete was not warranted. Was not warranted. You know, they always think our black boys got some type of superpowers, but it was 2 black men there, 2 black cops and 2 white cops. I'm only saying that to say it didn't take 4 officers to handle 1 guy. Okay, so what do y'all say? What do y'all say? Amor, the young man is going to get justice. The officers was truly wrong. Excessive force should not be tolerated. People treat their dogs better than humans. Jacksonville officers need more training. I do believe that it was excessive force, but I also believe the guy has to be held to some type of well, he already, you know, to be honest with you, he was already held to he was already held accountable for what he did, and that was have no suspended license and did not comply with the headlight thing. So he pled guilty to that. He pled guilty to that. No, I'm sorry. No, he didn't play. He pled guilty to resisting arrest and no license. That's what he pled guilty to. But I do believe that now that Ben Crump and what's the other guy named, y'all? Ben Crump and is it Henry? Ben Crump and somebody else. What is their names? Hold on, let me see. It's Ben Crump and what is that guy name? Harry, is it? It's Ben Crump and y'all tell me, what's the guy name? I know Ben Crump, but Ben Crump and somebody else. But anyway, I do believe they would not have taken the case had they didn't think that they did not have a case. Okay. So I do believe that he will get some type of justice. You know what I mean? When a cop stops you and you're not injured, he should not have a broken jaw. Right. I agree, Cindy. Especially over headlight, right? He would definitely get justice. Yep. Ben Crump ain't taking your case if you ain't winning. You know, he wasn't them type. He wasn't them type. He ain't taking your case if he feels that he can't win it. A ticket or a warning and move on. That was definitely clear abuse. He was wrong, but not warranted. This abuse. Right. I agree, Reese Cup. So these are just one of many, though. And that's an unfortunate thing for, you know, not just Black people, because they do it to white people too. But that's an unfortunate thing here in America, that cops can get away with doing shit like this. You know what I'm saying? They can do things like this. They can slam your head in the ground. They can bust your jaw. They can break your teeth out of your mouth. They can sucker punch you and say, oh, it wasn't a sucker punch. I was trying to get hold of the victim. They all need extra training and need to stop being so goddamn gone scary to where they got to double, triple, quadruple team your ass. I don't get it. Okay? So the fact that he was punched while his hands, I don't think his hands was up when he was punched, but he was punched while in a seatbelt, and then he was punched again with his hands behind his back. So I do believe that they will find that to be excessive force. The reporters say he had a broken jaw. I don't know if he, let me see, hold on. I don't think he had a broken jaw, but let's see. He said out his own mouth, I received a chipped tooth, 9 stitches in my lip. My tooth went through my lip. I also suffered a concussion and short-term memory. It does not say a broken jaw. So it doesn't say a broken jaw, but when he say 9 stitches, oh, he said 9 stitches to my lip. So in his write-up, this is the guy's Instagram. So if you guys want his Instagram, let me drop it for y'all if you want it to go check it out. It doesn't say, well, his Instagram is 904, I'm sorry. 904 Will, 904 Will, 904 WILL is his Instagram. 904 is the area code in Jacksonville, 904 Will, WILL. Those cops have been trained. Those demons just do what they want to do, and some think they will get away with it. Yeah. Yes, Ben Crump took the case. I believe he's the same one that took Trayvon Martin, and that happened right up the street from me. Oh, but there's another guy that took the case. I think his name is, what is his name? Hold on, y'all. Let me find out the other guy name. I want to say it's Harry or Henry or something like that. Let me see.
This is a special episode of I Got Ish to Say podcast. We are here to talk about the injustice of William McNeil Jr. Hey, look.
Okay, hold on. I did not mean to click off of that. I just wanted to see who was on the case. I want to say Henry or Harry, somebody, but it's somebody popular though. She said Ben Crump is the one that demanded JSO to release the body cam footage. And I'm sure he's going to be coming out speaking if he hasn't already. Let's see if Ben Crump came out and said anything. On McNeil Jr. Let's see if he came out and said anything. Oh, yeah, he did. So it looks like he said, well, let's look. Hey. Yeah, I know Ben Crump come up there looking like, oh, we get justice. We get justice. Hold on. So it says, attorney for man punched by JSO officers in viral traffic stop video says police report is divorced from reality. Okay. It says, let's just see what Ben Crump said. All right, so Ben Crump says, the narrative in this report isn't just suspicious, it's completely divorced from reality. Not only is he clearly wearing his seatbelt in the video, he never reached for anything. That was the lie that they tried to say he reached for a knife. In fact, the only time he moved at all is when the officer knocked him over by punching him in his face. Then this young man calmly sit back straight and hold his empty hands up. The statement continues to say he was never combative, never raises his voice, and he certainly never reached for a knife. He simply asked for a supervisor, and then they break his window and beat him. Yet, somehow the report failed to mention that. I don't know which is worse. What this officer clearly tried to justify his illegal brutality with this fabrication, or that his supervisor signed off on it. Yep, his supervisor signed off on it. It's going to get him the supervisor in trouble because the supervisor definitely signed off on it. What happened to William McNeil Jr. is a disturbing reminder that even the most basic rights, like asking why you've been pulled over, can be met with violence for Black Americans. William was calm and compliant, yet instead of answers, he got the window smashed and was punched in the face all over a questionable claim about headlights in broad daylight. This wasn't law enforcement, it was brutality. All videos from JSO should be released to ensure there is transparency for McNeil and the community. We demand full accountability from the Jacksonville Sheriff Office and justice for William McNeil Jr. So shortly after that statement was released, JSO announced that they would be holding a news conference about the matter on Monday at 5 p.m. And that is when they released that body cam. So it sounds to me like Ben Crump's message was before the release. So his message was, well, it was published today at 4:22, and at 5 p.m. was the news conference, okay? So now I don't think that Ben Crump has said anything after the news release. I would be interested to see what he has to say. Did the officer even read the young man his rights? The hitting officer was probably waiting for the young man to fight back to beat him up more. Ooh. Good observation. But I mean, they slung him out the damn car so fast. He couldn't have hit him back if he wanted to. Shit. You had 4 big dudes on him. You know what I mean? One had his hand, one had his nostrils, one had his hair, one had his pants. You know what I mean? It was 4 dudes on him. And all of a sudden, he didn't have a chance to do nothing. He didn't have a chance to do nothing. Did not show nothing, kept asking for his supervisor. She said, yes, his message was for. Yeah, so I would be interested in what Ben Crumb has to say now that the entire footage was released. I would be interested to see what angle they're going to come from. So I will let y'all know if any updates come about, okay? So without any questions, if y'all don't have any questions, I want to just go into one other story, and it's going to be real quick. I just want to give y'all an update on Shannon Sharpe, because I told y'all the other day that they went to court last Monday, and the plaintiff attorney, Busby, did not show up, okay? So at any rate, Shannon Sharpe has, the case is closed with prejudice, meaning that she cannot ever bring him back to court, right? But Shannon Sharpe settled, okay? He settled. So now she wanted 50 million. I don't think that he gave her 50 million, but she announced that she is now retired from an OnlyFans page, okay? She was an OnlyFans I don't know if you call it a worker or she used to have an OnlyFans page, okay? So anyway, she no longer has an OnlyFans page, and she posted to her OnlyFans members that she is now retired, but she will keep some sort of a social media presence, but she will no longer be doing OnlyFans, okay? So she's retired at the tender age of 21, all because of, her ordeals with Shannon Sharpe, okay? Now, what do I think about that? I think that was a plan all along. And I think that Shannon is stupid for dealing with someone that much younger than him. And, she got him. She got him right where she wanted him. And he had to pay. So she is, and they said it was millions, honey. She asked for 50 million. So and he offered 10. He offered 10 million, and she didn't take that. So I guarantee you she probably got either half of what she asked for, 25 million or more. 25 million or more. But $25 million from sleeping with Shannon Sharpe, having kinky sex with Shannon Sharpe, man, I need me a Shannon. You know what I'm saying? I need me a Shannon, baby. Anyway, but baby, she got him, and hopefully he learned his lesson, because that was probably one of the dumbest things that he could have ever done in his damn life. He's stupid. He shouldn't even want to see another piece of coochie no more, because, honey, baby, that was one expensive piece of ass. Do you hear me? So anyway, hopefully he learned his lesson. Hopefully I would love to see Shannon date a woman his damn age. Do you hear me? Date a woman your age, okay? Now, he might not be able to get her legs pinned back by her ears, okay? But he don't have to worry about shoving over $20 million, okay? She said 10 million, I retire too. I would too, Lorraine. You hear me? And I retire in Italy. Let me just play. So anyway, so that case is over. She said they had to be pressed to release the tape. Oh, yeah, Candy. So anyway, she's talking about lucky hoe. Yes, she is a lucky hoe. She's a lucky hoe that just retired at 21 years old. So she's a young 21-year-old paid lucky hoe, okay? She's a paid hoe. Now, that's what I'm talking about right there. If you're going to be a hoe, be a paid hoe. Stop giving people free coochie and stop giving it to them for $40. It's men out there willing to pay $10 million, okay? Y'all better stop messing with these old chicks. Listen, all hoes need to upgrade their lifestyle. You hear me? Stop messing with these cheap-ass men $40 in a bucket of chicken when you can go give some ass away, get choked around or whatnot, have real kinky ass sex. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna get your tonsils damaged, you should be able to at least get 10 mil. You know what I mean? If you can't get 10 mil out of getting your tonsils damaged from some kinky sex, baby, you doing it wrong, because $40 ain't gonna get it, honey. It ain't gonna get it. She said, did y'all see the text message? Shannon is a bisexual freak. Yes, we did see some of the text messages, and yes, he is a freak, just like a lot of them with money, honey. They want to hit every hole. No hole closed. They want every hole on everybody. If it can go in your ears, they'll hit that too. You hear me? I don't know what money does to these fucking rich ass men, but it does something to them where they feel like they should be able to do whatever they want. If between your toes, if they can stick their thing between your toes, they'll do that. You hear me? Golly. Shannon, all these rich men, it ain't just black men, it's white men too. They doing the most. They don't care. They'll screw whatever move. Oh, that's a hole. Let me try it out. Let me try it out. Let me try it out. Ooh, let me try it out. They want to try all holes. Literally. You hear me? Anyway, so he got him a little hoe. But now she's a paid hoe. She's a rich hoe. And she's a retired hoe. And I ain't mad at the hoe. You hear me? I am not mad at that hoe. She did it right. It's a bunch of dumb hoes out here that need to take a page out of her whole ass playbook. You hear me? She need to write a book to say how to be a hoe. Because until then, all hoes are not doing it right. Listen, I'm just saying. So Shannon Sharpe paid up because he didn't want his dirty laundry. He like, shit, I seen what they did to Diddy. Hell no. Y'all ain't gonna get my ass. And one thing that I think that Diddy should have done, Diddy should have put in there with prejudice too when it came to goddamn, what's the girl name? What's that whole name? What's Diddy girl name that got 20 million? I can't even think of her name. Nah, it starts with a C. But whatever her name is. But if he would have done it with, not necessarily, because when you do it with prejudice, that just means that they cannot file the same charge against you. Yeah, Cassie. I couldn't think of Cassie's name for nothing in the world. But she's a paid hoe too. Let me stop. Amen. Now you about to see all hoes rise to the top. You hear me? They're like, oh, hell no, I want 10 million. So anyway, I do believe that she probably got 20 million or more, but she did announce that she is retired, okay? She said, I'm tired of, only getting paid $1,500 for showing y'all my panties or showing y'all my breasts. Now I got enough money, I ain't got to show y'all shit no more. You hear me? Anyway, she said, Amor, you need to add that part to another live. Oh, yeah, because I just got finished talking about the police brutality case. Well, I mean, hell, I'm just giving y'all an update. Okay? Just pretend y'all didn't hear the update. Anyway, somebody said they saying that she got 10 million and Buzzy got 6 million of that. Man, well, but you know what? Even if she got 4 million, that's still good. She said, boy, did you enjoy your grandkids? Absolutely, I did. And let me just say this before I hop off right quick. I don't see how some of these content creators really can be content creators. Well, let me see, that's in this saga anyway, and mothers, because baby, child, these kids will have you running all day. So just know these content creators that come out here for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours or come on here for 2, 3, 4 times a day, they neglecting their kids. Okay, I'm just gonna let y'all know that now. They neglecting their kids. Now, you know what I do want to do? I do want to end this live. I want to end this live and I want to start up another live because, honey, we got some things to talk about. Or maybe I should do it tomorrow. Let me see. Oh, dang, I didn't realize it was that late. Well, maybe I should have because I came in late. But But y'all, I heard some things. I heard some things through the grapevine, and I don't want to mix it with this live. Like Daisy said, I should have did this on another live because now I done called out the rich hoes and all the hoes, all the hoes queens on this video. So it's gonna be people over here looking to see what went on with William McNeil, and they gonna hear about some hoes. Oh Lord, I'm digging a deeper hole. Anyway, so I'm gonna dump this live. I do appreciate y'all for pulling up to this live. Now it wasn't messy like it always, like my lives can get. I don't think it was messy. I think it was very informative. You know what I mean? If anything, please teach your kids to make it home. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, it was excessive force. Yes, I hope McNeil get justice, and I will keep y'all up to date as to what go on. But please teach your children to make it home, okay? Because, I think a little tweaking would have saved a lot of this escalation, okay? Okay, so let's teach our kids, and not just the ones that are under our roof, but the ones that are going on and have become adults. Teach them as well. The goal is to make it home safely, okay? All right. So let me give y'all a shout out for those that poured into my live stream. I do appreciate you guys so very much. Sonia C, Cynthia Hemphill, Miss Pamela, Barbara Clark, a Sassy D. It is a sad situation. Lakeisha looks pretty damn criminal to me. Absolutely horrific. Amoria stories be so damn good. I'm entertained and pissed at the same time. Thank you, Lakeisha. Thank you for becoming a member, Lakeisha. Carmelita, thank you for being a member for 22 months. She said, good live, Amoria. Thank you, Carmelita. I appreciate you guys for showing up. Thank you, Chocolate Mesh, 23 months. Hey, turn up the lights. Let's get it. Thank you so much, Chocolate Mesh. Appreciate that 23 months, baby. Dedication. Knee deep, thank you for 22 months. She said they not in the white sheets anymore. They in uniforms. Beware, people, stay woke. Yeah, you got that right, girl. All kind of uniform too, not just the police uniform, police, military, doctor uniform. They in a whole lot of uniforms, baby. Thank you, Daisy, so much for the super chat sticker. And let's listen. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to end this live and get me something to drink, not no alcohol, maybe some water or whatever. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to have a quiet conversation about what we done learned today, y'all. You hear me? We're going to have a quiet conversation about some things that I heard. Now, listen, I don't know if they're true or not, but I damn sure want to talk about it. Do y'all want to talk about it? Let me know if y'all want to talk about it. She said, are we getting another live for the late night crew? Yes, Cassandra, the late night crew. Hey, Break Room, did you plan on going back live, Break Room? Let me ask my sis. Because Break Room, I didn't get a chance to go over to your live. Let me see if Break Room plan on going back live, because I think she heard it too. She said, Diddy had so many people suing him, I don't think it matters how the case closed, prejudice or not. She said, I don't think so, baby. Oh, so you're not going to go back live? Well, I just want to go back and let's talk to the people because I want to know, did they hear what I heard? And we're going to talk about what we heard, okay? All right? So, again, she said, let's talk about it. She said, no more. Okay. But we're gonna end this live and we're going to start up another live. She said, listening but starting a new live, please. She said, listening but start a new live, please. Yes, I am. I'm going to start a new live because I don't want people that, because I know I'm going to pick up a couple of subscribers from this topic or whatever because it is hot. So I don't want them to, I don't want them to really know how messy we get over here. So that's why I'm going to start a new live. Yeah. So I'm going to give a 15-minute break, you guys, and y'all come back and bring your humor with you, okay? So I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for pulling up, and I'm going to talk to y'all in a minute. Bye, y'all.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Jay! She kept talking about that family. 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 That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family. These motherfuckers got me wanting to listen about.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.